I am officially a redhead. So if you guys are here, you probably already know from the title that I decided to henna my hair. I decided to use the Lush Rouge Henna. I've actually used it twice now. So the reason I had to redo my henna was because I noticed it had faded after a couple of weeks. Apparently this is really common when you first use henna because it does coat the hair and the color actually builds up as you do more treatments. So the first time as it rinses out, you might notice your hair going back to its usual color. So doing it once or twice is totally normal when you first start to use henna. So the reason I decided to henna my hair rather than dye it is because when I started to look into henna, there were just a ton of benefits to it. It's great for your scalp, it's great for your hair, it's better for the environment, and Lush's henna in particular, they, you know, make it package free, so it really is just kind of a feel-good product all the way around. Now I know I can hear the hairstylists out there saying, why did you use henna? I know what you're thinking, but don't worry, I did my research. The Lush henna is very, very safe. The main thing you want to look out for when it comes to henna is making sure that your henna doesn't contain any mineral salts. Mineral salts react really poorly with bleach and other hair dyes. So when you hear that hairstylists like hate henna, that's why. However, the Lush henna, as well as a number of other hennas out there on the market, do not contain mineral salts, and so basically you just need to wait for your henna to fade and then you can lighten and bleach and do whatever you want as normal. Something really interesting about henna is that it's been used in many cultures for thousands of years. It's very, very culturally significant. And if you guys want to learn more about the history of henna and the cultural significance of henna, make sure you check out my description box. I'm going to add a couple links that you guys can check out. So often henna comes in the form of a powder. It's actually derived from a henna plant and then it's ground up into that powder, but the Lush henna is actually made with cocoa butter, and that's part of the reason why it comes in a brick form. Okay, so let's talk about the process of using the Lush henna, because it is a process. So something I almost forgot to mention is that before you actually apply the henna to your hair, you are going to want to do a test strand. So rather than do the test strand on my actual hair, I decided to mix up my henna and place it on the hair that I had left on my hairbrush. I know that sounds super gross, but rather than do the strand on your hair and risk possibly hating that strand, it's just so much easier and you can really see the color on, you know, the leftover hair on your hairbrush. It's gross, but it works. Once you have the henna on your test piece, you basically just want to leave that for about 4 to 5 hours, however long you plan on leaving it on your hair, and then rinse it out and then leave it for 24 hours so that it can fully develop so you can really see what the color is going to look like. So when you get it, it'll come in a brick with 6 little squares to it. I only used 4 for my hair, and I would say I have fairly long hair. So if you have shorter hair than me, then I would recommend using less and just saving the rest for a future treatment. So basically what I did is I put my cubes of henna into a little baking pan, a glass baking pan. You do not want to use metal with it. And I added in a little bit of hot water from my kettle. It wasn't really melting the way I had hoped it would be. So at that point, I decided to put it on top of a boiling pot of water, and that worked really, really well. So if you have a double broiler, that would be the way to go. It does take a little bit of time. I would say it probably takes about 20 minutes to really melt down, but it will get there. So I've done this now twice, and I will say that the second time I hennaed my hair was much, much better because I knew how to work with the product and what to expect. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you set down something on the floor that will basically protect your floors, because henna will get on your floor. So I just put down a towel that I didn't really care about, and it'll from now on just be the towel I use when I henna my hair. The next thing you want to do is you want to section your hair out. So this is the first time I hennaed my hair, and as you can see, I'm not doing a very good job at sectioning out my hair. I'm kind of just trying to apply the product from front to back, and so I'm having a really tough time getting it to my roots, which is why I would say working in sections is much easier. It means that you can really get the henna all the way through your hair rather than doing what I'm doing, which is basically applying it all over and then trying to catch where I missed after the fact. You want to have your hair in like 4, if not more sections. Use clips to separate them so that you can really focus on each section of hair as you go. I did that the second time and it it made a world of difference. Okay, and then third, you want to make sure that you're not wearing something that you really care about, because again, you will get henna on it. I just wore a black sports bra, some black shorts, and it was totally fine. I threw them in the wash afterwards and they didn't get stained or weird at all. But just make sure you're not wearing something that you really love, because it could get stained. Once your hair is totally coated, you want to add, you know, saran wrap, or better yet, again, learned the second time, a plastic bag around your hair. So something I had read is that the Lush Henna gets more red, more gingery with heat, so you really want to keep your hair warm. So I decided after putting on the plastic bag that I wanted to use my microwavable head cap, and I just went and put it into the microwave for a minute and then put it on my hair, and honestly it felt so nice. It was like a little hair treatment. It was lovely. So then I put that on, and then I left the treatment in the first time for 4 hours, and then the second time I left it on for 5 hours. And basically both times, periodically I would take off my little heat cap, I would throw it back in the microwave, and then put it back on, just to make sure that it was really getting nice and warm and I was getting as much of that gingery red color as possible. So at the end of the treatment, you then want to have your shower, and now I'm gonna warn you, do not open your eyes while you're in the shower. It is a scary sight. It is really like there is just a mudslide in your bathroom. Your shower will be covered in mud. It is crazy, but don't worry, it'll all wash away and it'll all wash out. You don't want to use any sort of shampoo on your hair to remove the treatment, only conditioner. So make sure that you have something on hand that will help you kind of work out that product. I just use my Aveeno conditioner, like a daily conditioner, so you can really use whatever you want. Just don't use anything that's suds. And then after that, the treatment is done, but it will take about 24 to 48 hours for the color to fully develop. So if you don't love your hair right off the bat, do give it a little bit of time for the color to really develop. All right guys, and that is it. That is my Lush Henna journey. I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out really, really nice, and it feels great, and I'm very happy with it, and I'm hoping that, you know, by the next time I do it, I'll learn even more tips and tricks on how to use the Lush Henna to make it less messy, less chaotic, and maybe I'll have more tips to share with you then. All right guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.